Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include winners of the bridge building contest, Burgeo Novice Hockey Team win the Robert Lee Memorial Tournament, W.G. George out of commission for a while, Education Week activities. These stories plus community events, the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack and more coming up after this.
In a scene from prehistory, still fjords run deep, hemmed in by giant granite walls, carved by volcanoes, tectonic upheaval, 20 times as old as the Rockies. Our park. Imagine that.
On Friday, March the 13th, the Coast Guard boat W.G. George was damaged by fire. At approximately 12 noon, the Burgeo Volunteer Fire Department were called to the local Coast Guard station. Fire had broken out aboard the Coast Guard boat, the W.G. George. The cause of the fire was determined to be electrical in the engine room of the boat. The fire caused extensive damage and the George will be out of commission for approximately 6 to 8 weeks. A replacement for the George will be brought to Burgeo sometime next week. On Saturday, March the 4th, 16 students and their teacher chaperone traveled to Cornerbrook for the annual bridge building contest. This year there were 3 schools involved in the contest. St. John's Central High from Burgeo entered 8 bridges. Mary Sims All Grade from Main Brook entered 2 bridges. The largest number of bridges this year came from Granny's River Collegiate, entering 17 bridges. The bridges were registered first, then weighed and numbered. The judges then went to work to judge for the best looking bridge. Next came the failure test. This is when the bridge is put on a pressure machine to find out how much pressure for square inch they can withstand. The bridges weren't tested by number, they were registered because of the different sizes of bridge. The small ones were tested first, and the pressure machine had to be adjusted for the larger bridges. After all the testing was done, the engineers calculated the numbers and announced the winners.
I'd like to thank you all for coming and participating in our bridge competition today. This is the 4th time that we've had the bridge competition in Cornerbrook, and the 9th time that the Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists have held a competition in Newfoundland and Labrador. I'd like to commend everybody for their hard work and their dedication to building these fine bridges, and for making the effort to come down here, because it's one heck of a trip to come all that way from, where was it, Burnt Island? And Burnt Island, Rose Blanche, Burgeo, and Main Brook, which is quite a trip also.
Start at 10 o'clock next year.
Yeah, that's right, Eddie.
Mine's too early.
Okay, well, I'll get right to it then. We have, let's see, the 3rd place winner. Third place winner, this bridge right here, from Granny's River Collegiate. 3rd place winner is R. There's two people involved in the bridge. It's Rebecca Spicer and Renee Herrick. Where are you? Our second place winner is David Sims from St. John's Central.
Rebecca Spicer.
Okay.
And Renee Hewitt.
First place.
H-E-R-R.
First place winner from St. John Central is Belinda Vatcher.
Brandon River, please.
And we have one more prize today, and that is for the most aesthetic bridge, the most pleasing bridge to look at, the most beautiful bridge built. And that goes to Brandy's River Collegiate. And the winners are Macy Hatcher and Christina Herron.
Hey!
And Jane Keynes. Sorry, I'm going to have to make that tribute to Jane also. Take the
The bridge building contest will be shown in its entirety at a later date. On Thursday of this week, we spoke to Valerie Sims Anderson about the snack program at the A.J. Matthews Elementary School. Today we have with us Valerie Sims Anderson. Thanks for speaking with us today, Ms. Anderson.
You're welcome.
A while ago, you were going to start a program for the kids at the school, and it was called a breakfast program. And recently, we've heard about it, but instead of a breakfast program, now it's a snack program. Can you tell us how that is going to run, or is it going to be the same as a breakfast program?
Actually, we've decided that a breakfast program probably isn't a good idea just for this region. We think that a snack program would better benefit our students, and what we'll be doing is just providing snacks such as fresh fruits or granola bars, just snack foods for the kids during recess. So it is in replace of our breakfast program.
Why is that? Is it because there's not facilities for our breakfast program, or?
It's really hard to manage a breakfast program, to tell you the truth, and a snack program, what our concerns are is that we want to make sure the kids are getting nutrition. That is the main concern, and like I'm sure kids are getting fed. It's just that it's easier, instead of having to provide you know, say eggs and cereal, things like that for breakfast, it's easier just to provide fruit for them during recess.
Okay, can you give us some idea how this program will run? For example, like how will it be organized, and what types of food? Well, you already said what types of food, but who will be doing it?
Okay, we have a volunteer committee of parents that are going to be helping me run the program. We're in the initial stages right now. We're trying to get donations, and we're trying to figure out how the program will actually run. But there are about 12 parents that are signed on to help us. And as I said, we'll be serving pieces of fruit to the kids during recess. It'll be different things: apples, bananas, oranges, kiwi, pears, whatever different kinds of fruits we can get. Maybe even snacks like granola bars and yogurt. Anything that's nutritious. This is our main focus right now, is nutrition. And the way it will be run, part of the reason we want to do this is so that all children can take part in this and have the food if they want it. And so it's non-stigmatizing. What we'll be doing is putting the fruit on trays, and our volunteers will be serving it to the kids, and any kid that wants a piece of fruit can take it, so that there's no stigma attached to, oh, you're eating that because you're starved, or you're eating it because you're poor. Anyone that wants fruit it's welcome to take it, including teachers and volunteers if they choose to.
Oh, so will you be going, like, for example, from class to class during recess, or will it be just placed in an area and the kids can help themselves?
It will be class to class, yeah. And it'll be on serving trays, and they can just take a napkin and whatever piece of fruit they desire.
Okay. And how will your snack program be funded?
Funding right now, this is our big obstacle. We've requested donations from businesses and community service organizations in Burgeo. We're also willing to take individual donations if people would like to give to us. We intend on having some fundraisers. Right now we're not sure what that will be exactly, but you know, we need to come up with some money somewhere. And we've also applied for a startup grant from the School Food Foundation, School Children's Food Foundation. And the reason that we're not sure if we're going to get money from them, they only have so much money that is allotted. And part of their program is that you make sure that there is community involvement, such as people volunteering, and that the community is donating to the program. They don't want to take on the full cost of a program. So we have to ensure, first of all, that our community is willing to take this on and support it through donations and volunteer work. And then they're willing to give us the money to start it and to maintain it somewhat.
So this program is obviously running in other areas in the district.
Right now, it's I know of Port-aux-Basques, Stephenville, Piccadilly, St. John's, Corner Brook, Deer Lake. All those places have them running, and actually they've been running for quite a while and successfully. And in some areas, the School Food Foundation hasn't had to give money every year because they've been able to maintain it through donations and fundraisers.
So if someone in our town, business organizations or private individuals would like to donate to the snack program here at the school, how can they do that?
You can call me at the school, Valerie Sims Anderson, at 886-2543. Or we have a committee of volunteers that are going to be phoning around to businesses that have already received letters. Some businesses may not have received them. That was an oversight on my part. But there will be someone calling and asking if you'd like to donate. It makes it a little easier. And if you would, you can tell them what you want to donate and how much, how many times. I mean, that's all in their choice.
So even if someone didn't want to donate monetary, in the monetary sense, would you accept donations of fruit from individuals? Or
Definitely, definitely. It makes it easier actually if a business is saying, I will give you bananas this week, but next week maybe I'll give you apples. I mean, they can change it every week. But in giving us the fruit, it makes it a lot easier because then we don't have to take the time to go out and buy that fruit. So we would prefer that the businesses that can would give us the supplies, but anybody that would just like to make a donation of money so that we can go out and buy it ourselves, I mean, that's fine too. We'll take whatever we can get.
Okay.
And I'd just like to stress actually that this is for the kids. We're not concerned with why the kids are hungry, or we just want to make sure that the food is there for them and that it's not stigmatizing. As I said, any kid that wants it can take it. Some kids are hungry just for the simple fact that they haven't eaten breakfast, and it's their choice. And but we just want to make sure that the food is there for them. And if they want it, they can just take what we have available.
Okay. Now you're also actually this has been mentioned several times through Mrs. Benoit's school reports, and that's a mentoring program. Now I understand that you're trying to get that off the ground as well. Now can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're really excited about our mentoring program actually. We've been working on it since Shannon and I both started in January. This has been a big focus of ours, and it's going to start next week. We have 90 students involved. 45 from this school, the mentees, and 45 mentors from the high school. And we have them paired up, and the parents all know who the pairings are, and the kids are ready to meet each other. So starting on Monday, we're going to have an orientation just so they can get acquainted and have some fun. And it'll be here at the A.J. Matthews Gymnasium. It starts at 3:30 for the A.J. Matthews students whose last name is between A and G. On Tuesday, we'll have the rest of the A.J. Matthews students. The mentors know that they have to show up, which time they have to show up. So we'll have some fun activities for them. We have games arranged and refreshments there. And then it will continue for every week, every Monday, until the end of the school year. And hopefully they'll make some good friendships out of it, and it will benefit the kids. We really hope so.
So what kind of things are the mentors expected to do with the mentees?
They choose on their own when they get together. the way we have it organized is that it's a supervised school-based activity, so it can only be on school grounds. But we will give them ideas on what they can do. We'll have stations set up. They can play sports in the gym. We have computers reserved, and we have a volunteer who will take care of the computer lab. We also have, like down here, we'll have win, lose, or draw section, so they can play the game win, lose, or draw. We'll have just activities like crosswords or something like that that they can do. Different areas will be available for them. And if they just want to talk or read or do homework or go out and play on the playground, they can do that as well. It's their discretion, but we will make sure that there are things available for them and that this is supervised.
Okay, we thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Houses of yellow, lime, aqua, and blue. And the world's most friendly folk. As proud to show their true colors as the street they call Jelly Bean Row. Imagine that.
The weekend of March the 4th was a winning weekend for the town of Burgeo. 14 members of the novice hockey team won the Robert Lee Memorial Tournament at St. George's. The Burgeo team, along with 3 other teams from Port aux Basques, Stephenville, and St. George's, took part in the tournament. The first game was Burgeo versus Port aux Basques, with Burgeo victorious with a score of 10-2. The Burgeo team were wearing black and gold. Shane Krant was named the player of the game. The second game, Burgeo won against Stephenville with an 8-1 score, and the player of the game was Nolan Short. The second win meant Burgeo moved on to the championship game. Again, Burgeo was victorious with a 10-6 score, and the player of the game was goalie Shane Domine. The players were awarded a medallion for their victory and a trophy to bring home to display at their school. Congratulations to Coach Leonard Ball and his players for their hard work and determination. We commend you on a job well done. Mr. Scott Linehan joins us now with the St. John's Central High School report. Good afternoon, Mr. Linehan. Thanks for speaking with us today. Sure. We're wondering if you could give us an update on some of the activities that's been going on at your school for the past month or so.
Be happy to, Marie. I wanted to bring parents up to date on the recent happenings with the midterm reports. The overall averages for the classes, grade 7 was an 84% average, grade 8 was 75, and grade 9 was 75%. So that's very good for junior high school, and I'm very pleased with that. In our senior high class, we had 72% for level 1, 67% for level 2, and 66% for level 3. What causes me the most concern is the 66% for our level 3 students. As it stands now as a class, our level 3s cannot enter university as a class average. 70% is the average to get admittance into university. As it stands now, our level 3s would not be able to get to university as a class. This caused me great concern, and the students have 4 months left to really button down the hatches and try and put the push on for June. I think they're quite capable of more than 66%, and I definitely want to see this raised for June. I really want to see the level 3s go out with a bang, and I wish them every success, and I certainly hope that in the next 3 and 4 months that they really give 110% to get that average up. 66% is less than what they're capable, and I really want to see that improve. With regard to open house, many parents came in, and I was very pleased. We had about 70% of parents come in over 2 days in February, so I was very pleased with that. They came in and talked about all their concerns, and they came and saw me, and they saw their teachers, and they expressed their concern over their students, so we've made some changes, and we've accommodated the parents and the students as much as we could to certainly hope to increase the marks, because I know they shared their concern with me, the same concern I have about their grades, and I'm certainly hoping that with their input that there'll be a raise in grades. One other thing I wanted to talk about, which I spoke about before, was the criterion reference testing, which is a test of math, science, and language. This test is given to the entire province of Newfoundland and Labrador, and our school came first in this entire school district, district number 4. So we beat out Port aux Basques and Stephenville, and we were first, and that was the grade 9 class from last year and our current grade 10 class. And this just goes to show the great efforts the students are making, and the great effort the teachers are making in making sure that our students are doing well. So we are tops in the province. We beat the provincial average in all 3 categories, math, science, and language. And I want to congratulate the teachers and the students on a job well done. So the level 1s have a 72% average in midterm, and that was the group that did the CRTs last year. They wrote what's called the CTBS, the Canadian Test of Basic Skills, several months ago. And when those results come back, I'll share them with you. And I have every confidence that they will be just as high as the CRTs. So I want them to keep up the hard work. One other thing I'd like to talk about is our new school. It's still in negotiation stages. I don't really know exactly where we are with it right now. They're still bargaining for a space, so they're looking for a place to build a new school, and we're still negotiating the amount of space required to offer our program. So we've been working very hard with the school council, with the town council, and with the school board office, and to make sure that we get everything that we hope we need for our new school in a couple of years here in Burgeo. A new K-12 system, and we hope it'll be everything that'll meet the needs of this community. So I'll certainly keep you appraised of any developments that come with the new school. Fundraising, one of the last issues I want to bring up. We're going to have a bingo, I believe, towards the end of this month, and I want to thank all the parents and the community for supporting us in our fundraising initiatives last term. Fundraising, of course, without parents' help, many initiatives wouldn't be possible, such as the bridge building contests and travel to sports meets and this kind of thing. We really need the extra support to help supplement the school's budget, which is very minimal on a small budget of a school our size. And the last thing I want to talk about is a very serious issue that's come up at the school as of recently, and it's about the prevalence of drug use in Burgeo and among our youth. As parents are aware, they have received a letter from the school regarding the availability of drugs. To my knowledge, no drugs have made their way onto school premises. It's never been brought to the teacher's attention, nor has it been brought to my attention. But that's not to say it's never been here, because I believe maybe it has. And so in a school council meeting, we've taken an absolute zero tolerance approach to drug use or drug presence in this building. If any student is caught with drugs in this school, they will be suspended immediately, and the authorities will be notified, and they will be prosecuted to the fullest extent that's within the realm of this school. So I've worked with the RCMP, social services, the drug and mental health counselor, the school council, the school board, the RCMP. We've all worked together, and we're going to make a joint approach and fight this problem as one unit to ensure the safety of every student in this school. This is not a mercenary mission hoping to target any students. What we're trying to ensure is that we have the safety of every student in this school. And by doing so, we may check lockers. If knowledge comes to me that drugs may be in this building, then I may go knock on a classroom door and search lockers of a particular group of kids, or I may check the entire school. It's perfectly within my right to do so. The students are aware of it. It's in their handbook on page 6. They've had that handbook since September. And I've checked with the RCMP in Burgeo and Stephenville, and it's perfectly within my right to do so if I think that drugs are in the school. As well, I may check suspected students who may have narcotics on them. In an effort with the RCMP, I may check these students. So it's time for them to be very concerned that if drugs make their way to the school, that they may be searched if I get knowledge that they have it on them. And if they do have it on them, they will be required to withdraw from school. They will be suspended immediately. And furthermore, they will have to receive drug counseling from our counselor here in Burgeo if they want to attend school again. Also to that, I spoke with the RCMP, and if the need arises, we may get the drug enforcement dog from Deer Lake to come in and search the school. This dog unit can detect narcotics up to 4 days removed from it being in the school. So if any student was in possession of drugs or it was in the school lockers, this dog will smell it and will react, and that'll stay within the school for 4 days. So we'll certainly know who's been carrying the narcotics in the school. This drug dog may show up at any day without notice. So if drugs make their way to the school, students will certainly be aware of it. I'm letting everyone know in advance that this is going to happen, that I will be checking lockers and checking students. So no one can claim that they didn't know that it was by surprise. I'm letting everyone know at the same time. So I want to ensure the safety of every student in this school. and I do not want in any way the safety of our students being jeopardized. With the recent rash of drug-related incidences and arrests and drug paraphernalia that's been seized here around the school and in our area, I think is a grave concern, and I spoke with our school council, and they also share my concern, and they want me to act immediately, and I plan to do so swiftly and strictly. So I certainly hope I can count on the support of parents that we keep drugs out of our school. And that may also involve alcohol as well, though no record of that either has been brought to my attention. But I hope that I can count on all the parent support, and if they have any concern about this whatsoever, by all means they can contact me here at the school, and I'll be free to discuss it with them at any time. So again, I wanted to thank all the parents for all their support, their continued support. I want to tell the students to work hard, to keep up the strong effort they've been showing, and I want them to raise those grades a little bit, especially our high school students, because they're certainly capable of much better, and I'd like to see them increase those grades by June. So Marie, I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the parents for sharing with us today.
And thank you very much for speaking with us.
You're welcome.
Both of our schools have been very busy during the past week with Education Week activities. On Monday of this week, we were invited to the St. John Centre High for the opening of the graduation class time capsule. Back when the graduating class were in grade 2, there was a non-smoking campaign. One of the activities they could take part in was a time capsule, and their teachers at the time, Mrs. Ruth Tucker and Mrs. Linda Vatcher, decided that's what their grade 2 class would do, and the capsule would be opened by the students during their graduating year. Since it was Education Week, the graduation class decided it was time to open the capsule. The class invited the grade 2 class and planned some activities for them. One group had a short play about peer pressure and smoking. Other students spoke about the effects of smoking, including the smell, the cost, and disease. These students had a demonstration to show just how one cigarette affects your lungs. This young man told the grade 2 students when he started to smoke and how it has affected his life. Then the time capsule was open. Inside was a poster with "We promise never to start smoking." It was dated June 1990. Out of the class of 24, 12 of these students are now smokers, with females being the majority. It was a very moving and powerful presentation. You may have noticed that some of the students are wearing their pajamas. When we were invited, it was Pajama and Missy Hair Day. St. John's Centre High held other activities like Inside Out and Backward Day on Tuesday, Opposite Sex Day on Wednesday, Thursday was Formal Day, and Friday was School Spirit Day. The A.J. Matthews Elementary School also held plenty of Education Week activities, including cooking pancakes, attending church, Carnival Day on Friday. And we were invited to the school on Thursday for short plays by the 2-3 class. Mrs. Tucker's class performed short plays based on some books they have read, including Thomas's Snowsuit. Mrs. Tucker also called the novice hockey team to the stage to congratulate them on their victory.
We got Lewis Hand. Take a bow when I say your name. Take a bow. That's Lewis. Shane Krant. Tyson Cutler. Christopher Dominic. Shannon Ball. Reggie Marsden, Allison Errett, Dylan Krant, Joshua Caldwell, Jeremy Han, Jake Anderson, Shane Dominique, Matthew McDonald, and Nolan Short. Let's give them a big hand. There were 3 people who got recognized at the games for player of the game. In game 1, you got a little puck, and it's got an engraving on it. What does it say on it? Player of the game. Ah, well, I'll show you. Player of the game has got a hockey mitt and sticks and puck. On the back it says, Robert Lee Tournament 2000 Player of the Game. I guess you know this fellow got one because Shane, I believe Shane was Player of the Game first game. And second game, Nolan was Player of the Game. And the championship game, Shane Dominy was Player of the Game.
Both the St. John's Central High presentation and the A.J. Matthews plays will be shown in their entirety at a later date. Stay with us for Off the Rat, the community events, and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
After you've seen the whales and the icebergs and the fjords, come witness a night, St. John's, Newfoundland. Imagine that.
Off the Rat. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of when construction began in the area of what is now home to the Calder Healthcare Center. Let's look back to February 1991.
Good evening and welcome to the community events segment of tonight's broadcast. I'm Jennifer Marks. The winners of the grade class TV bingo were Barb Sims, Kelly Hare, and Mary Bungay. Congratulations. The Burgeo Lions will be holding the next TV bingo on Wednesday, March 15 at 7 p.m. Cards are $1 each or 6 for $5 and can be purchased from any Lions member or are in most stores around town. Please support the Burgeo Lions and play TV bingo. The Volunteer Fire Department are accepting applications for membership. Persons must be 19 years of age or older. Applications may be picked up at the Town Hall or the Fire Hall, or you may call Glenn Hand at 886-2974. The deadline to apply is Thursday, March 16th. The Employment Outreach Office would like to advise that Student Work and Service Program applications are now available. SWAP is designed to assist individuals who plan to attend or return to post-secondary institution within the next year. Deadline for application is April 5th. If your group or organization has an upcoming event plan, we would be happy to advertise it for you. Just call the BBS office by Wednesdays of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That concludes the community event segment of tonight's broadcast. See you next week.
BBS Playbill. Tune in on Tuesday for a rebroadcast of Pansy's Garden. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing Burgeo Lions TV Bingo. Following the bingo, we will have a video entitled Good Discipline, Good Kids. Tune in on Thursday when we'll have the Lions annual speak-off. Join Pansy and the gang for 2 stories, a craft, and lots of fun on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on Pansy's Garden. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Next week's program will be followed by the Bandwagon. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night.